grounds of Washington Township High School in Washington Township, New Jersey. The GCEN presents high school football. Tonight, it's the West Jersey Football League American Division matchup of Washington Township and Shawnee. Hello again, everyone. Rob Christ along with my partner, Marc Narducci. A warm evening here in Washington Township. Should be heating up with some outstanding football. Two teams that know each other well in all sports, but particularly here in football. Last year, Washington Township got the better of Shawnee, 19-17. They're going to hope for that same amount of success again this year. Shawnee comes into this game 2-0, an outstanding team, a team that is well-balanced, and a team that is always well-coached.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rob. Someone forgot to tell Coach Tim Gushu that this was supposed to be a rebuilding year. They lose over 30 seniors from a team that went to the South Jersey Group 4 final and lost to Timber Creek. And then they open up against Cherokee, a team I had as a preseason #1 team in South Jersey, and they beat them 16-13. They come back last week. They beat a very good Allentown team that I think is going to be a real factor in the postseason in Central Jersey. So this is a better start than a lot of people expected for them.
For Shawnee, they just have so much talent, very well balanced, but the man we're going to talk about is Dan Wigley. He's someone who doesn't say a whole lot, but he sure lets his performance do the talking.
There's no question. A running back and a linebacker for them. He's rushed for 170 yards, a couple touchdowns, makes a lot of plays at linebacker, and he's going to have to even be more active tonight because the other great linebacker, Jack Slazinski, will not be playing tonight due to a concussion. So the Shawnee linebackers, usually among the best in South Jersey, he'll have to make up a little bit for that.
Washington Township comes into this game with a little bit of momentum, a big victory over Atlantic City, losing earlier in the year to Hamilton. Coach Marc says that this is a big game for him. Little concerned with some of the youth he has, but he likes the momentum that they're generating.
Well, there's no question about it. Had they not won against Atlantic City, with the schedule they play, they could have been in trouble. They were a playoff team last year, Rob, and one of the reasons they made it was they beat the Shawnee team, as you alluded to. So they have some momentum coming in, and they have a lot of confidence.
Of course, we had this very Washington Township team last year on the GCEN. We saw them beat Kingsway, and the one man I came exceptionally impressed with was Mike Paperno, the quarterback.
No question about it. I mean, last week he threw for 2 touchdowns, over 220 yards. He's got a great arm, Rob. He's got one of the best arms in South Jersey. He can make any throw. The whole key for him is if he's able to get the protection from this young Washington Township line.
You know, Paperno, again, getting looks from major schools, Villanova and Monmouth. He's going to need to be on his game tonight in order for Washington Township to be successful. Both of these teams need the win. Both of these teams want to get out to a quick start. We'll have it for you in just a moment. Welcome back to Washington Township. Dalsey to kick it away for Shawnee. And back to receive for Washington Township. See 83 degrees and clear skies here. Awaiting the kick is Kenneth Yates over on the right side of the screen there. So, again, a hot evening here. We'll see whether that plays a role in conditioning as the night wears on. And we are underway. It's a short high kick, far side of the field, taken just inside the 20-yard line, down the sideline with some room, and finally brought down just past the 30. Good field position to start here for the Minutemen. Mike Paperno will be your quarterback. We talked at length about him in the open. Very impressive young man. And again, last week versus Atlantic City, 221 yards, a pair of touchdown passes, and his strong right arm will be on display throughout the evening.
And you know, Rob, he threw for over 1,500 yards and 17 TDs last year, so it's a guy that certainly has a track record.
A little razzle-dazzle, quick little shovel pass inside will pick up a nice little chunk. Call it 7, second down and 3. And neat little play designed for effect Joseph McCollum on the reception. It's officially a forward pass from that young man, Mike Paperno, second down. And again, same play, other way. And this will pick up about 2. He'll be just shy of the first down as Kenneth Yates, the receiver on that one. So interesting little wiggle on forward passes there. We talked about highlighting his strong right arm, kind of chest pass, basketball style, Mark.
Yeah, we'll be seeing some deep, long throws. As you said, Rob, they're just trying to open up the defense here at 3rd and 1.
Out of the shotgun. Perno, hands off, right up the gut, looking for some space, driving forward, and that should be more than enough for the first down. Some good 2nd and 3rd efforts, and the ball is loose. But the question is, did the whistle blow? They're going to talk about it here. Was forward progress stopped? This will be a big play to start. So let's take a look at the replay here. Again, good 2nd effort, and Meintel right here loses the football, but they ruled that his forward progress had stopped. So that's a big call early, Mark.
Well, the other thing is he got the 2nd effort. He broke a tackle from Wigley, who we talked about in the pregame, a real sure tackler. So that's an excellent play by Meintel.
Meintel again, not a whole lot doing in that front line. Of course, Mark, we talked about that Shawnee suffering a big loss, not having Jackson Lazinski.
Yeah, there's no question about it. He had 100 tackles last year as a junior, and the guy that kicked off tonight that we saw, Joe Dulcie, there you see him, number 82 to the right of your screen. He's taking over at that linebacker spot for Lazinski.
Dulcie, one of the captains of the Shawnee football team, Coach Tim Gushu, really talking about his leadership and his importance to this team. Paperno will roll. Has some space, and he's going to look to the sideline, push down from behind. Nice little play on the pursuit as Davon Robinson able to track him down. Robinson, a Division I talent. Keep an eye on him tonight.
Well, he did a great job of not letting Paperno get outside that time. He held his ground, and that was an excellent play.
3rd down and long for Washington Township. Opening drive here on the Atlantic City Electric Game of the Week. Across the middle, looking for a man, and that falls incomplete. So Washington Township forced to punt it away, looking for Meintel.
Yeah, he was looking for Meintel, and he had to get it over Wigley that time. Did you see how well the linebackers of Shawnee dropped that time? Very, very little room. Excellent job defensively by the Renegades.
Now for Shawnee, you see Sean Lewandowski back to receive the punt for the Renegades. And both of these teams will need to roll the special teams play. Washington Township, high punt, fair catch called at the 25-yard line. And that was taken by Wigley. Wigley wearing number 44. That's a special number at Shawnee, Mark. 44, always kind of the center of attention, and it just means a lot of tradition with the Shawnee Renegades. And Wigley, kind of the center of attention. We talked about his ability to be a player that has tremendous impact, both offensively and defensively. We'll keep an eye on him on both sides of the football. 1st down and 10 here for the Renegades, starting at their own 25-yard line. Mike Shinsky last week, 7 of 11 versus Cherokee. Throws out to the flat, and that falls incomplete. Looking for Davon Robinson, who we talked about before. Just a very special player.
10 yards to go, the ball at the 25.
I'll tell you what, we're going to see 2 quarterbacks, I think, tonight. McNeil also has gotten some action in these first 2 games, and that's interesting that Shawnee would come out throwing like that, because they're certainly going to try to emphasize the run. And Shinsky, by the way, one of the toughest kids you'll ever see. Remember, had the injury, kept him out of playing for a couple years. He's headed to Penn State to play lacrosse. Just a real tough player.
Shinsky hands it right up the gut, and not much doing there. Maybe one. So Washington Township's defense standing tall here. 3rd down and 9 on this opening series for the Shawnee Renegades. We mentioned that Shawnee comes into this game with a record of 2-0. Washington Township at 1-1, and Marc, Coach Wechter of the Township Minutemen could not emphasize enough just really how big of a game this is for Washington Township.
Or how big last week was. He just felt that the team, if they had started off 0-2 with the schedule, I mean, these teams in the American play among the best schedules in South Jersey.
Quick drop, Shinsky has his man, it's Robinson, and in and out of his hands. So Robinson typically very sure-handed. Robinson, a kid who's getting a variety of looks from major Division I schools, including Temple and Rutgers, unable to bring that in. And Washington Township, again, has to be pleased 3 and out on this opening series.
And Inman almost getting that interception off the tip that time. I thought Robinson actually, sometimes you jump too early and it messes up your timing. I think that happened that time as we look at Dulcie back in punt formation.
Dulcie, a jack of all trades, as we mentioned. Punt it away. It's a high punt, and it will be taken in and out of the hands. Fumbled. Shawnee falls on the football. Mintel unable to haul it in, and that's a big break for the Renegades.
Absolutely. Jake Schillinger, number 23, Johnny on the spot right there to recover the ball. And this is what Shawnee does. A tough first drive. There you see the fair catch, plenty of room.
You can almost get a sense that he peeked at Schillinger, and that's what cost him.
Yep.
We mentioned just a moment ago that special teams was going to be critical in this football game, and it has already turned out to be so. Washington Township Coach Marc Wechter said we really need to hold them in this first quarter, and now their defense is up against it. 1st down and 10 deep in their own territory. Shinsky out of the shotgun, flushed out of the pocket, and he will be brought down and sacked. Well, one of the keys to tonight, Marc, is the play of both lines, and right now Washington Township's defensive line is doing a tremendous job.
Ryan Brady getting the sack that time, but a 2-yard loss that time. I'm surprised Shawnee's come out throwing this much. I really am. Here's Shinsky's only attempted 20 passes in the first 2 games. A little surprised. Interesting.
2nd down, we'll call it 12. Handoff right up the gut, and it looks like it's Wigley who is tripped up. Wigley is shaken up on the play. We'll keep an eye on that. He's coming off, and he looks like he's favoring one side.
Initial hit by David Grosmick, and this is Grosmick's first game back, Rob. He was banged up in the preseason. He's one of their best linemen, and that's a great addition for them, and he made a tremendous play that time before Wigley could get some steam.
Grosmick, a top pick on the preseason. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd teams, and he's a 4-year starter for these Washington Township Minutemen. 3rd down. Flushed out of the pocket. Shinsky's going to keep. He runs, angles to the sideline, and he'll be shy of the 1st down, but likely 4-down territory here.
At the 31-yard line.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that.
Fourth down, 3 yards to go.
About a 4th and 2, Rob. Yeah, maybe 4th and 3.
Favorable spot. Put at the 31-yard line for the Shawnee Renegades. Marc, you were up at Penn State last week. You must feel like deja vu looking at those Shawnee uniforms.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
4th down. Shinsky across the middle, in and out of the hands of his tight end. And you can see just absolutely beside himself is Dalsey. Well-designed play, quick hitter across the middle, and just Dalsey unable to look it into his hands.
You know, sometimes turnovers hurt teams. This isn't a turnover, but it's a catch that you know Dalsey would like to have back.
Well, Washington Township has to be growing in confidence. 2 straight drives they have held the Renegades without a 1st down. 1st down and 10 for the Minutemen for Paperno. Has a man in motion. Again, that quick little shovel pass and cut down after a very short pickup. And McKillop, once again.
On the carry, number 31, Joe McKillop.
Yeah, they keep going with that shovel pass. I think that they're just trying to open things up, Rob, to get things down. I think, with Paperno's arm, eventually they're going to go downfield. And especially with Tahir Roundtree, number 4, a tremendous big play receiver for this Township team.
Roundtree with both touchdown receptions last week. And they're going to try to run them up the middle. Not a whole lot doing there. And again, it's Mintel, and that's a case, Mark, where you want to get the ball in the hands of Mintel just to give him that confidence.
And that tackle was by number 22, Ryan Parris, one of the most active linebackers in South Jersey. We're going to call his number a lot.
Parris relatively undersized, about 5'11", but a solid player right in the middle of that Shawnee defense. Third down for Paperno. Quick drop, rocket screen, and driving forward, more than enough for the first down. A helmet comes flying out, but again, it's Sturgis on the reception.
Number 16, Pastor Sturgis. Backyard's good for first
The
down.
key to that play, as you called it, Rob, a quick screen, is getting it done quickly. Paperno lets it out right away before Wigley could get over there. You saw 44 there for Shawnee, kind of overrunning the play that time. Very good execution.
You mentioned before, Paperno has that great arm, but all of their passes thus far, save for one, have been high efficiency. The screens, the quick little shovel passes. First down and 10, Washington Township with their second first down of the football game. Paperno, quick drop, throws it up, has a man, it's Sturgis, and he overthrows him.
Pass incomplete.
Rob, they're going to revisit that play. As I said, they have the players in Sturgis and Roundtree that can really get deep that time.
44.
Second down and 10, and both of these quarterbacks have been via the air for the greater part of the night.
I don't think Township can run on this Shawnee defense consistently.
Paperno, deep drop, flushed out of the pocket, sacked.
Paperno. Second
All the way back to the 31-yard line. Tremendous pressure by Shawnee's Dan Falzone, and he met a friend in the back, and that was Alex Hilgetag.
Well, watch 22 Parris right there, too, getting at him first. I'm telling you, he's one of the most active linebackers in South Jersey. And as I said, with Lozinski here, this might be the best linebacking core in South Jersey.
Absolutely. Ryan Parrish really deserving the bulk of that credit on that play. And third down and 21, a situation that no team wants to find themselves in, but Paperno with a very good arm. And again, inside screen, has his man looking for room, and they'll just try to do what they can, make the best of a bad situation, maybe about an 8-yard gain. We'll call it 8. Fourth down and 14 now.
Again, that's a play we will see again. A Kenneth Yates, who has great ability after he makes the catch. That time Shawnee doing a nice job converging on him.
So Wigley is back in the football game. That's a great sign for the Renegades, who went off favoring one side earlier. He's back with Sean Lewandowski. And the punt is away. It's end over end. Fair catch called. Taken at the 28-yard line by Wigley. So it's been a battle of punts and a little bit of a turnover mixed in. Shawnee at this point, 2 possessions, 0 for 2 on third down and 0 for 1 on fourth down.
Again, Rob, this is not surprising. This is not a Shawnee offense that's explosive.
You see last year's records, of course, Washington Township, one of their 6 wins last year against this Shawnee football team. Shawnee lost in Group 4 to Timber Creek. And Marc, I'm going to ask you right after this play. Here we go. We got a penalty on the flag. Perfect timing. What are your thoughts? You see high school football here in New Jersey, not the largest state in the world, now going to 5 different sections. You got 4 different champions from each section. That's 20 public school champions. Your thoughts on that?
I like it, Rob. I know people say it waters down, but I do like it. Keep in mind, Pennsylvania, which I know is a bigger state, just went to six sections this year.
Much bigger state.
Right, but I like it. I like to see more champions, and And if you look at it, I mean, look at last year's South Jersey Group 4 final. That was a heck of a game between Shawnee and Timber Creek. I mean, it was a Group 5 was 14-7. Toms River North beating Williamstown. The one group where there hasn't been a lot of parity maybe is Group 3. Delsey, of course, with 4 consecutive sectional titles under Coach Sal Marquez Jr. But still, I like it. I know you don't, but I like having the extra group.
Well, Delsey mentioned them. They have a big game tonight, 0-2. That's not something you see at Delsey very often. They're going to need to come away with a victory tonight. Handoff inside and not much doing. Sal Marquez always does a phenomenal job. Of course, we had Delsey here earlier in the year against Timber Creek, and that was no picnic, starting off against Timber Creek and then Cedar Creek.
Right,
they were up the creek.
Yeah, they've had to face 2 sectional champions, Timber Creek in 4, Cedar Creek in 2, and both teams very, very dangerous once again.
Second down, we'll give him credit for a yard there. Second down and 9, Shinsky comes in, gives him the play. Again, a relatively efficient first quarter here as the clock continues to move. 3:30 left. Shinsky, 3-step drop, now evading trouble. Keeps it, and he may pick up 1 or 2. It looks like there's a penalty flag in the area where we typically see holding. And it looks like an illegal shift. And we'll see whether Washington Township opts to take it.
Looks like
here you see head coach Marc Wechter. He's been a staple here at Washington Township for some time. And I used to coach with him over at Gateway way back when. It was a long time ago, Mark. That's when both Marc Wechter and I didn't have gray hair.
That's when I did have hair.
79 and 136, a pair of ties in Wechter's long career. He's like you, Mark, a pair of ties. Third down. Call it 7. Shinsky avoids the blitz. Quick out, looking for open space, and just not much there. Shawnee again unable to convert on third down, so it's been a battle of defense. You really have to like what you see defensively from Washington Township.
Yeah, they really converge on that quickly. Completed pass that time, Lewandowski. There you see it. He's off balance when he catches the ball too, Rob, so he couldn't get ahead of steam going up, but great pursuit by Township.
So Delsey will kick it away to Mintel. Last time, Mintel bobbled and Shawnee came away with it. Delsey, this one is very short, and it's going to bounce.
All right, now let's go.
And it's going to be right just inside of midfield. Washington Township with excellent field position here with 2:07 left. So you see Shawnee, Group 4, 2-0, and we had Timber Creek a couple weeks ago. Devin Leary, something very special. Timber Creek is going to be a force to be reckoned with if they continue the way they've been going. In Group 5, Mark, who do you see as the prohibitive favorite?
I don't know about prohibitive, but I know Cherokee's 0-2, but I still think that we're going to hear from the Chiefs before it's all said and done.
Paperno throws deep, has a man in and out of the hands. A beautiful throw, trying to find the intended receiver on the play.
That was Whitehead, and we talked about Roundtree. Excuse me. We talked about him, how dangerous he is. Rob, when they've thrown these deep passes, look, they've had a couple of steps on these defenders. I think Township's going to keep doing it.
That was a very catchable ball. Roundtree could have extended or laid out on that, but Paperno missing literally by inches, and that would have been a big, big gain for the Minutemen. Second down and 10. Lone setback for Paperno. Quick drop, inside screen, has his man just inside the 50, shakes one tackle, across the 40, hops over one man, down the sideline, cut down. Fine play made by Kenneth Yates. Again, just trying to look for open space, and Yates making the most of it.
Yeah, actually, though, Diaz, number 42 from Shawnee, had a shot at him. Of course, not the easiest player to tackle. Watch this. Right up there. That's the play. And, again, a tremendous job that time by Yates, slipping it off.
Wetterau also with an opportunity. And Washington Township moving the football. First down and 10 inside the Shawnee 30. Paperno, three-step drop. In trouble, shakes his first tackle, and he'll slide just shy of the marker. That will go down as a sack.
Well, I'll tell you what, Paperno still showed great escapability. If you notice on this play, number 51, Falzone, was right in there on him. It would have been a bigger loss. He was able to slip out of that.
They got a good spot on that. So that may go all the way up to the line of scrimmage. So that may be no gain as opposed to a sack. Second down and 10. Again, Paperno has Yates in motion. Gives to Yates, shakes one tackle, but he's not going to continue to break renegade tackles, and he is dropped for a loss.
Well, you know what's interesting, Rob? We talked about Falzone just missing the sack that time. This time he came on and really wrapped his arms around and made a tremendous defensive play.
Well, Coach Wechter's asking whether or not they need to get a playoff here, because one of his goals was to get out of this first quarter not allowing Shawnee to get on the scoreboard. So they have to feel good about things thus far. Third down and very long for the Minutemen. We'll call it 16. Again, clock continues to move. We're inside of 5 seconds. Paperno gets it away. It'll be the last play. Inside and in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. And that will do it for the first quarter on the Atlantic City Electric Game of the Week. We head to break. Scoreless. Welcome back, Shawnee. Waiting for the punt and down at about the 15-yard line. Interesting decision. Ball was at the 35-yard line mark, and an opportunity to maybe throw it up and roll the dice a little bit. They opt to kind of pin him a little bit deeper. I think that's probably the call that most coaches would make. But again, with a guy like Paperno and some talent, some coaches may opt to kind of roll the dice a little bit. I think given the fact that Washington Township has been so strong defensively, that's the right call.
Yeah, and it was 3rd and 17 too, so it wasn't like it was an easy play at that point.
First down and 10, and Shinsky hands off, up the gut, not much doing, maybe 3 or 4, and Wigley continues to be the workman.
Boy, Liam Watson, a very, very active player for Washington Township, number 50, making the tackle that time. Tell you what, Township has done a great job in not giving Shawnee any kind of space, Rob.
Are you surprised that Shawnee has yet to earn a first down?
Well, they're not an offensive juggernaut, I'm telling you.
Shinsky, 3-step drop, has his man it, and it's Robinson who gets belted. Big play as the hit laid out by Washington Township's Jarrett Dargush. 7 tackles last week, and he laid the wood there. Again, you have to like what you see out of this defense.
Well, you do, but again, that was a ball. That was a well-thrown ball. I mean, it was a hard hit, and you give credit to Washington Township.
Shinsky, 2-step drop, flush out of the pocket, looking for space. Tucks, throws, has his man, and just overthrows Robinson. Robinson had some space there, and Robinson is not diminutive, but again, Shinsky in trouble, throws it away, and Shawnee now 0 for 4 on 3rd down conversions.
Actually, Rob, there were 2 Washington Township defenders near him, so it almost might have been better that he overthrew him that time.
the first corner card. 82, Joe Dawsey.
Dawsey again to kick it away. Remember, his last punt was exceptionally short.
Beat the Washington Township.
And a penalty here. I don't know if we have too many men on the field or... They may have 12 out there. I see 12 Minutemen.
Still not enough for a first down, though, Rob. Is
No.
it? Just should miss it. Just should be short.
Interesting. Looks like they made a wholesale change. So, total scheme of things, not a big deal. 5 yards, but a long way to go. Still 4th down. And now, timeout, Washington Township.
Washington Township calls its second timeout of the half.
So Township has burned 2 timeouts already here, Mark, and obviously one more penalty there, and Shawnee has a first down. Shawnee with that 5 yards on the penalty, just about a yard away, and I think it's a case where he probably wants to talk to him and said, listen, they're only a yard away. This is what we have seen. This is what we need to look for. We can't afford to give up a 4th down carry by the short man.
Yeah, I don't think Shawnee would do it this far away. But, Rob, one thing about this game, going into the season, everyone can see that Cherokee, the favorite in the American Division, and probably Hamilton, number 2. Well, then, Hamilton has its quarterback, Malachi Winters, the great senior. He was hurt. He's hurt his shoulder. We don't know what his availability is going to be. Shawnee's already lost the game. So it kind of opens the door for teams like Shawnee and Township that, although Township has already lost to Hamilton. But, I mean, if Shawnee can win this game, I'm not saying they're in the driver's seat, but they're certainly put themselves in good position.
Dawsey's punt, end over end. Mintel is going to let it bounce, and it's down at the 40-yard line. So Washington Township again will start with good field position, 10:52 remaining in this first half. We saw a shot of the crowd earlier. Great crowd on hand here. A nice warm fall afternoon. It's officially fall now, Mark.
Yeah. Hey, the Washington Township, Rob, last 3 possessions, the possession before this, on its own 48 it started, the one before that on the 31. So Township is getting pretty good field position.
First down and 10. Township again working out of the shotgun. Handoff right up the gut, Mintel. They'll pick up about 4 or 5. Nice little pickup on first down, and Township continues to move the football.
Wow, that might be the best first down run we've seen. You're right, about 4 yards there.
Came to 4 yards in that carry by Mintel.
We've seen a little bit of everything thus far from this Washington Township offense. Paperno has gone up top a couple times, not connected. A few shovel passes, the rocket screens, and the handoffs right up the gut to Mintel.
They haven't executed it, but the deep ball has definitely been there for the Minutemen.
Paperno again, inside screen, has his man. That'll be enough for a first down. And again, Washington Township moving the football as he finds Tahir Roundtree.
Roundtree, that yard's good for a first down. First and 10 Minutemen.
First down and 10, and Township once again breaches midfield. They are in Shawnee territory.
Roundtree came into the game, Rob, 9 receptions, 208 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And as we said, and we saw him get open deep before, he's a big play performer.
And motion here, looks like someone jumped.
Penalty flags on the play.
Procedure.
A 5-yard penalty against Washington Township for illegal motion. Moves the ball back to the
First down and 15, back into Minutemen territory.
47-yard line. First down, 15 yards to go.
Yeah, again, Shawnee has to be wary, Rob. Township's also had some success on these screens to the wide receivers. Quick hitting,
Trips left. Paperno rolls to his left, throws, and that falls incomplete. That's a difficult throw.
Pass incomplete.
Running against the grain and trying to throw for the right-handed quarterback, Paperno.
Yeah, but he has the arm to do that. And the other thing is, Sturgis, who you see there going back to the huddle, he's telling him, hey, I was open on that. That was a well-conceived play. It was just a throw that Paperno would like to have back.
Not an easy throw. Falls incomplete. 9:35. Paperno, as we mentioned, getting looks from Villanova and Monmouth. And one of the things that they really are focusing on is, can he continue to show great poise in the pocket? That was their concern looking at him last year. And we've certainly seen that thus far tonight. Paperno, three-step drop, shows off the arm in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, and that is Roundtree. And again, that's a pass that if you ask Roundtree, he'd probably tell you, I should have come down with that.
If you're Washington Township and you're looking for a positive, your receivers are getting open. And that's not surprising. They have some very, very good receivers. As I said, I think Township's going to have trouble running the ball, and I think the route to go is going to be through the air on this Shawnee defense.
Washington Township 2 for 5 on third down, and this is a long one, 3rd down and 15.
Yeah, I think Shawnee's showing some sort of blitz here. Watch Paris.
Four-man rush, Paperno inside, has his man across the middle, cut down at the 40-yard line. Again, finds Roundtree short of the first down.
12-yard pickup brings up 4th down, 3 yards to go. 4th and 3.
Yeah, so 4th and 3, Rob. I think you go for it here. What do you think?
I disagree. I say you punt and
really
pin them back.
Okay.
They continue to win the battle of field position.
There you saw the replay, and that was a very good job by 24 Brett Bromley of Shawnee, making that tackle right away and not allowing Roundtree any yards after the catch.
Trips right. Paperno does quick inside screen, has his man, and that'll be enough for a first down the sideline, and ruled out of bounds. So Coach Marc Rector opts to gamble, and he comes up with 7. Good play call, rocket screen, and again an opportunity for the Washington Township receivers to show their athleticism, this time with Sturgis.
Well, they've had a great job. Tremendous block there. I believe that time it was by Yates, and giving him room on that time. Shawnee certainly going to have to defend that quick screen to the receivers a little bit better. Township's had a lot of success.
If you're a Washington Township football player, you have to like Coach Rector making that call, showing the confidence in his team. And this time it's Meintel, and he rolls forward, and a big chunk for Meintel. Meintel, remember, he had that fumble earlier in the game that was ruled down by forward progress, and of course he had trouble with the punt, so keep an eye on that, but a fine carry by Meintel.
And the second time, Rob, that Meintel has gone up the middle and had a good gain. Remember, he had the 4-yard gain on that first down, and now about 7 right here.
2nd down and 3, and Paperno looks like he's got something for Yates on this one. Handoff, Meintel. They'll be short of the first down. So again, another 3rd down.
I'll tell you, this is a play where it's 3rd and 2. I think you can gamble. I think you might even look toward the end zone. I don't think they will, but I certainly think they're going to throw the ball here.
These high-efficiency passes have worked well. Again, Paperno looks. It was covered, and Paperno flushed out of the pocket and cut down at the knees. Paperno, and he's slow to get up.
Boy, Paris came on really, really quickly to make that tackle. Shawnee had a lot of pressure coming in from 65 Alex Hilltag and also 55 Cohen.
He looked for that inside screen. It was covered.
There you see both of them, and watch 22 just making the closing tackle.
As we mentioned, Paperno shaking up on the play, and it's 4th down and about 11. And he's still hobbling. It'll be interesting to see. Will they go with the play here? They will. Paperno out of the shotgun. 3-step drop, throws across the middle, and that falls incomplete.
You know, Wiggly was in there. I don't know. There you see Wiggly, 44. I don't know if he got a hand on that, Rob, to kind of tip at that time. But he did a great job dropping back in coverage. You know, we talk about these linebackers in the run game. They also do an excellent job in the passing game. Let's see here if we can see it. No, I don't think he got it. And
it looks like maybe even at the line of scrimmage there may have been a finger on it as the nose of the football was altered. 1st down and 10 for Shawnee. They're still looking for their first down. And Wiggly wiggles out to a carry of about 6. So Shawnee, again, with 6 minutes remaining in the first half, have yet to move the markers.
6 yards in that carry by Wiggly. 2nd down, 4 yards to go.
Shinsky with Wiggly in the backfield. Flank to his left. Shinsky gives it. It's Wiggly. Wiggly, and it looks like we're going to have a holding call here. So this play's coming back.
On the stop, the outside linebacker, number 11, Ryan Bradley.
Well, they would have had their first down, but they had assistance, and that's a spot foul, so looks like it'll go all the way back to about the 30-yard line. Here you see it. Couldn't make out who that was on. 2nd down, and again, they'll spot it at the 30, so 2nd down and 12.
Brings up 2nd down. 12 yards to go, the ball at the 30.
well, one thing, despite the hold, the Shawnees kind of put a few runs together. And again, that's really the bread and butter, and they're going to have to do that here.
Shinsky out of the pistol, and again, we'll have another penalty here.
Penalty flags on the play.
Shawnee shooting themselves in the foot. Procedure, and they'll back it up another 5 yards. 2nd down and 17. Shawnee headed in the wrong direction. Not typical of this traditionally well-disciplined Shawnee team. Shinsky again has a man in motion. Little inside handoff, and just absolutely nothing doing for Sean Lewandowski.
Yeah, and Ryan Brady, number 11, just did a tremendous job. First of all, he tried to force it outside, but he wouldn't let him get out there. That's a tremendous job by 11. He's made a couple of big plays here for the Minutemen.
3rd down, 19 yards to go.
Well, Shawnee 0 for 4 on 3rd down. It's going to take a whole lot to have their first down of the game now. 3rd down, we're going to call it 19 yards, and Shinsky with an empty set. 3-step drop. A lot of time. Shinsky finds an outlet. It's Lewandowski. He cuts it inside, met at the 31. And a positive gain, but well short of the 1st down, not even back to the original line of scrimmage. So Shawnee now 0 for 5. Township pitching a shutout defensively.
9 yards on that pass completion brings up 4th down, 10 yards to go.
If you like defensive football, you're seeing it tonight, Marc.
No, there's no question about it. Well, again, this is not a surprise. These two teams, that's kind of their calling card. They have young offenses that are still developing. You know, even though Paperno's back and he's a veteran, a lot of young players with him offensively.
High snap, Dalsey gets the punt away. It's a good one. Backs up Meintel. Meintel lets it bounce, and that goes all the way back to about the 12-yard line. There is a penalty on the play.
Yeah, number 37, McDermott, roughed the kicker that time. Big break for Shawnee.
penalty against Washington Township will give Shawnee a first down.
Penalty is declined. Washington Township will start deep in their own end. What a punt. And it looks as though they've asked Montel not to field punts any longer. That was a ball that he could have had and opted to get away from it. And what a roll on that. That's your artificial turf roll, Mark.
So without being an automatic first down, then they decline the penalty.
That's right.
Shawnee declines the penalty. Township Township first and 10.
Hey, hard. North, tight 8, purple 14. Hey, hard.
So about a 58-yard punt. And Township with their worst field position of the night, 4:12 left, first half. We're scoreless. Atlantic City Electric Game of the Week. Paperno, penalty.
I thought there was some sort of motion. Let's see.
False start against Washington Township. That'll back them up further. Now, this is an area the Township is unfamiliar with. They have enjoyed tremendous field position throughout the night. That has changed suddenly. First down and 15 for the Minutemen. They're going to have to be careful here against this tough Shawnee defense. Two receivers split right. Paperno, hands off, right up the gut, a pickup of about 6. That'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And again, it's Mintel.
Dawsey coming in there doing a nice job closing in for Shawnee, making that tackle.
If you're Township, you have to feel good about that run. Nice 6-yard run, give you some breathing room. And here you see it, great opening. And Mintel utilized every inch of that hole he had. 3:40 and counting. Paperno out of the shotgun. And again, another pickup for Mintel of 3 or 4 and a very makeable 3rd down for Washington Township. Neither team has been stellar on 3rd down, and that's why we have a scoreless tie.
Good job by Falzone. We've called his number a lot, Rob. 51 closing in on the play that time.
3rd down, 4 yards to go.
3rd down, Minutemen look over to the sideline to get the offensive play call. They all look to their sleeve and
remember those quick screens that they have, those quick hitters? They might try to go that route here.
3rd down and 5. Paperno has a man in motion. They decide to hand it off. It's Mintel, and he'll have it up for the first down. So it's been the Mintel show on this series, and it has paid off.
Same thing has worked for them. Three plays here, just right up the gut that time.
Good seal block there to create the opening. 3 for 8 now is Township on 3rd down. Clock continues to move. No timeout called. 2:40 left. Looks like we may have someone down on the field. Someone being tended to. So it may not be a timeout, actually, but player down.
I'd like to remind you that the Washington Township High School girls will be walking throughout the stands selling Chick-fil-A raffle.
Not get a number.
The winner of the raffle will receive 30 meals within 30 days.
You see head coach.
30 days.
It's been around 40 years, the Shawnee head coach. It's a lot of football, Mark.
He's been around so long that he was inducted into the South Jersey Football Coaches Hall of Fame in 2001. So he's been in that for a while. Just one of the great coaches in South Jersey history. Of course, played here at Shawnee, so he has deep roots to the Renegades.
He talked to us a little bit before the game about coming off of quadruple bypass surgery, and he said that he really needs to coach. It's his passion. Brett Bromley shaken up, the senior.
play resumes. Washington Township has a first down. First and 10, the ball is at the 29.
Clock will start up again, first down and 10.
7 to go in the first half.
You know, now you're Township and you have some room here. You might start, you know, thinking about it, Rob, with 2:30 and counting here in the first quarter. You know, they had the 3 straight runs. They got themselves out of some bad field position.
Paperno, 3-step drop, has a man, throws it long, and no one's going to come away with this one. It's kind of a chuck and a prayer there as he looks for Tahir Roundtree. 2:15 left, second down and 10.
Pretty good job by Jake Schillinger, number 23 on the coverage, although Roundtree's going to get a step on just about anybody that he goes up against, and it's just a matter of connecting on that deep pass. But that time, Shawnee covered it about as well as it has tonight.
Second down and 10 for Washington Township.
And of course, you stop the clock now with that incomplete pass. Shawnee stops him here. Might want to call a timeout. We'll see.
Paperno hands it to Mintel. Mintel again. Seemingly every time picking up 4, 5, 6 yards. He's been very effective.
I'll tell you what, Rob, if Dan Falzone 51 doesn't hold on to him for dear life, Mintel's going to make a bigger gain. Now, that was kind of a saving tackle that time.
Inside of 2 minutes remaining, Township on third down. 3 receivers, split right, 1 to the left. 1 back for Paperno. Low snap, Paperno looks for the inside screen, and again, pressure here. Paperno is going to be sacked. So clock continues to move, and we'll see whether or not Shawnee stops the clock or is just happy to head to the locker room.
I would actually stop it right here, but Aiden Cohen that time was among many in there, number 55, and Cohen has put some pretty good pressure here tonight for Shawnee.
Well, each team's going to let the clock run down. It looks like Coach Marc Wechter's asked them to call his last timeout with 1 second left to run it down as far as possible.
I'm surprised Shawnee hadn't called the timeout, and at least, you know, if you can block a punt or get a shank or some sort of return, you know,
100%.
a little bit of time.
Agreed. So, you know, obviously Shawnee wants to regroup in the locker room, but again, there's no telling what kind of play could develop here, and now you're going to be just 39 seconds away from halftime, actually less than that after the punt transpires. You see Shawnee talking it over. Coach Welsh, who's been a stalwart here at Shawnee High School for such a long time.
Yeah, this is a good, you know, we talk about Shawnee's defense. This is a solid Township defense. You know, they allowed 35 points in their opener, but they also committed so many turnovers and gave Hamilton short fields so much. So, hey, Marc Wechter obviously has to be pleased with the way this defense is playing this first half. Certainly the way it played last week against an Atlantic City team that can, you know, big play it at the time. So,
you know, it's interesting in speaking with both coaches before the game, Marc, both talked about how each of their teams, respectively, really care about one another. And I think that's shown on the field thus far. No big plays at this point, both solidly constructed teams. And it's probably a game that will go down to the wire. There's a way. And it's taken at the 47-yard line. So Shawnee with some of its best field position in the evening. Wigley, the sure-handed superstar of these Renegades. First down and 10 with just 38 seconds left. Washington Township is out of timeouts. And we'll see whether or not Shinsky and the Renegades take a knee or keep the ball on the ground here. It'd be hard to think that they would go through the air given the fact that they allowed that time to elapse, Marc.
I think what happens on first down will dictate the rest of what Shawnee does here.
Long again. Shinsky throws, has his man inside, and it's It's Robinson. He picks up a few and a timeout called here. I'm curious, Mark. No comment.
Well, again, Rob, it's easy for us. We're standing up here to second guess. I think we both would have called the timeout before the punt and not let so much time expire at that point.
Now, Shawnee and Washington Township both boast pretty good kicking games. Dalsey has already hit a 37 and a 38-yard field goal this season. And if they get to 45 yards or so, maybe even 50, they'll probably give Dalsey an opportunity. Again, Shawnee still looking for its first down of the evening, 2nd down and 3. It may come on the very last series of the first half.
Second down, 3 yards to go.
Shinsky, quick drop, fakes, pumps, throws, and nobody home.
Yeah, there you see Lewandowski running that go pattern. Robin, you saw him a couple weeks ago at Timber Creek, Devin Leary. That's what makes Devin Leary so impressive. He throws the deep ball as accurately as anybody I've seen in quite some time. Makes it look easy. It is not easy, as we've seen here tonight.
In watching him the other week, Mark, there were so many things that were impressive about him. His poise in the pocket and his touch on the football. He knew when to throw the bullet and when to get it to his receiver. Shinsky throws inside. This will be the first down. Wigley down the sideline. Wigley pushed out of bounds. And they're now in field goal position.
Hey! 34, don't let anybody else.
Yeah, I've seen Gann of Washington Township. Good thing he's there at the end of the play to push him out, because Wigley had some tremendous steam. There you also saw, that was a great replay that time, a tremendous block by Aaron Bill, number 61 of Shawnee, giving Wigley even more room.
So timeout called here once again. Just inside of 17 seconds remaining. 1st down and 10 for the Renegades. And an opportunity for them to go to the locker room with the lead. We didn't really see that coming, Mark.
Well, there's still a lot of work to do here. It's
right now they're inside of field goal range. This is right on the perimeter of what Dalsey can do.
You're talking about a 43-yarder right here.
Well, he's already hit a 37 and a 38-yarder, and what I've been told is he made it easily. Inside handoff, and Wigley gets it to the middle of the field to give Dalsey that opportunity. And I think that's what we're going to see right here. Better late than never for this Shawnee offense. Now able to generate any momentum throughout the game, and now all of a sudden, with a limited amount of clock, they're moving the football.
Well, the key here with 11.8 seconds left, do you get a little greedy and try to get some more ground and hit an out pattern or something like that? Because, you know, Rob, you're still looking at a 39-yard field goal. That's a long attempt.
That's true. A lot can go wrong, particularly in high school football. Bad snap, penalty. If that's what they're going to do. Shinsky out of the shotgun. This will be a quick hitter, I would imagine. Shinsky, quick drop, has a man by himself, in and out of the hands, looking for Robinson. Wow, Robinson had a pretty good look at that.
This ball had a little bit of air on it, Rob, but it shows the arm. See, Yeah, a little overthrown that time. But Robinson also stopped on that play, too.
I think it went off the hands of Robinson. That's a ball that, again, I think Shinsky did well with. And we have movement. So that'll back up Shawnee another 5 yards. We'll see whether or not that plays a role in Dalsey's attempt.
No legal procedure. Push the ball back. The 27.
We're on the perimeter of Dalsey's range. 45 yards for Dalsey. Kick is up. Line drive. Good.
The kick is good.
1.6 left. And as I mentioned, right about the edge of his range, 45 yards. Maybe had another 2 or 3 yards in him, but low line drive. Never got very high off the ground, but certainly powerful enough. And right now, that's the difference.
There it is. Rob, that does not make it by much, but it counts for 3.
So a little blow to the heart as Shawnee unexpectedly comes away with 3. They had very little time left when they received the punt. We talked about it before. Marc opted not to call the timeout prior to Washington Township punting. Allowed the clock to run down, and then Washington Township kind of in a prevent defense. It didn't look like Shawnee was going to do a whole lot, but you have to credit Shinsky and Wigley.
How about Shawnee? 2 first downs in the first half. Both came on that drive, and they made it work.
Tremendous, tremendous. Well, we've had ourselves a great football game thus far. I certainly expect as much in the second half. And Washington Township has played a solid game. I know that Marc Wechter has got to be pleased with the defensive efforts. And, you know, with a quarterback like Paperno, you have to expect that they are going to put some points on the scoreboard.
And you have to expect them to squib this thing here, too, with 1.6 seconds left.
Dalsey right now, the hero, will kick it away. It's a short little pooch, and it's taken at about the 20-yard line. Still on his feet, angling to the wide sideline. Still angling across the 40, and finally cut down. A nice return, but all for naught as we head to the locker room. It's been a good one. Your Atlantic City Electric game of the week. Shawnee on top of Washington Township, 3-0. Welcome back to Washington Township High School. Rob Christ along with Marc Narducci. We take a look at the stats at the half. Marc, what's it tell you?
Well, Rob, it tells us exactly what we expected, a defensive game here. 1 first down for Shawnee, but the big one that led to that field goal, 5 for Washington Township. And apparently we're told Mike Paperno will not be returning in the second half due to injury, so we'll develop that story as it goes.
Kickoff taken back at the 5-yard line, right up the middle, and finally cut down at about the 27. Good return, and Shawnee will start. Wigley has really been as advertised tonight, Marc.
Well, I'll tell you, the best play he made was that 27-yard catch for the first down that set up the field goal late in the first half. Other than that, Washington Township has done a pretty good job in bottling Wigley and the running game. 7 carries, 15 yards unofficially in the first half.
Shinsky has been efficient at quarterback. He'll hand it off to Wigley. Wigley inside, picks up about 4 or 5 yards, and that's one of the better runs of the night for Shawnee. What'll be interesting, Marc, is to see how Washington Township responds, knowing that their leader has been taken out there. You see Trevor Sharkey right there. Well, you got number 7, actually, Roger Baldacci. I believe it's going to be Sharkey, however, who...
I know they like Valdasti. He's a young player, but another good run here by Wigley. Wow.
Big run deep into The secondary of Washington Township, Wigley, has started strong. So Baldacci, the sophomore, warming. But again, it's probably going to be number 12, Sharkey, who comes in.
Well, he hesitated just enough. The linebackers were coming in. He caught them coming in and then goes out and gets some great downfield blocking, as you see there.
Great block by Davon Robinson, and now another holding penalty will stop the momentum of Shawnee. Well, unlike that first half, Mark, Shawnee getting a good push in the trenches.
Illegal use of hands against Shawnee.
Illegal use of hands, is that penalty?
That's a spot foul that will come back, and that ball will be spotted at about the 48-yard line, so that'll make it a first down and 18.
First down, 18 yards to go.
Out of the shotgun, Shinsky hands off, big hole through the middle, down to the 34-yard line. And a fine run made by Shawnee's number 22, Ryan Paris.
It's interesting, Paris doesn't get a carry in the first half. And wow, tremendous blocking. You saw that on the right side of your screen. Number 60, Matt Walsh, with the big block there for the Renegades.
Remember, it was Paris that really laid the hit on to Paperno towards the end of that first half. Shinsky hands right up the gut, and legs still driving, very, very close to the first down, but Paris just shy.
You know, you say to yourself, Paris has fresh legs because he didn't carry the ball in the first half, but he's been such a monster on defense, so he's certainly been active, but he certainly provided a boost to this offense. There's no question about it.
If you're Shawnee, you have to like this drive. Moving the football, moving the clock. Third down and a makeable 2. Inside Paris, more than enough for the first down, and the chains continue to move.
And Ryan Brady makes another tackle, and again, he holds on for dear life that time, or it could have been even worse. Brady has just been all over the field tonight, number 11 for Township.
Shawnee moving the football appreciably better on the opening drive in this second half than all of their drives combined in the first half. 1 for 1 on third down conversions already. That was all they had in the first half. Handoff again at Wigley with room. And right now, the Minutemen are not quite sure what hit them.
Remember how Shawnee came out just throwing the ball open to start the game? We were a little surprised at that. Well, they're going now back to their bread and butter here, Rob.
Second down, 3 yards to go.
Again, just right up the middle. There's Brady again on another tackle as well.
Wigley dances inside, and again, a very makeable third down here for the Renegades.
Pretty good job by Austin Hacking. He's one of the best defenders on this Township team. There you see him, number 53.
On the stop, the inside linebacker, number 53, Austin Hacking.
Solid opening drive for Shawnee. Over 3.5 minutes into it. Third down, we'll call it 2. Ball at the 20. Shinsky keeps. Shinsky cut down, but it looks like he's going to have enough for the first down.
You know, Shinsky bought himself some time on that play. He faked going outside, held the defender for a second, and then got himself the yardage needed for the first down. That's some pretty heady running by the Shawnee senior.
Shawnee continues to move the football, and they're doing so, as you mentioned, via the ground. It's been Paris, and it's been Wigley, with a little dash of Shinsky. Shinsky, hands off, up the middle, maybe 1. Washington Township's line trying to tighten things up. They can hold them to a field goal or less. Of course, it's still a one-possession football game.
David Grosmick that time, the player we talked about in the first half, playing his first game, and probably the best lineman for this Township team, did a great job of closing that play off, not letting anything outside.
Second down, Shinsky rolls, throws, caught across the middle, and touchdown. Big play as Shinsky finds Lewandowski.
On the pass completion, and touchdown, number 5, the wide receiver, Sean Lewandowski. Penalty flag on the play.
We have a flag though, Rob. We'll see what this is.
It's in the end zone.
We got a touchdown. We got a dead ball.
So the touchdown counts, and then unsportsmanlike conduct against Shawnee.
We got a touchdown. Dead ball.
Looks like they're going to assess that on the kickoff.
The touchdown is good. Penalty against Shawnee for unsportsmanlike conduct, which will be assessed on the kickoff.
And interestingly, we have a new kicker. It looks like Rich Demko into the game. So Demko's extra point is good. And Shawnee takes a 10-0 lead.
I'll tell you what, that was a tremendous throw. Watch how off balance Shinsky is that time and lets it go. And tremendous job by Lewandowski. There were a lot of blue uniforms around there, but he found the seam.
It's a case of Lewandowski just simply wanting the end zone, and through his perseverance and desire, put Shawnee on top by 10. Washington Township, 2 straight series yielding points after pitching a shutout prior to that. We'll see how they bounce back. We mentioned before that Paperno has left to get x-rays, and it is likely to be Trevor Sharkey, a 2-year JV starter who the Washington Township coaches have said exceptionally intelligent. They joked brighter than all of the coaches combined. So we'll see how that plays out. As we mentioned, the unsportsmanlike conduct assessed on the kickoff, and Washington Township should start with outstanding field position as Shawnee forced to kick it away from their own 25-yard line. Big series here, Mark.
No question about it. Again, Shawnee's defense doesn't need a whole lot of cushion, Rob. Again, they've played 2 close games. They certainly ahead of the offense at this stage, but showing to be one of the better ones in South Jersey, one of the better defenses.
Shawnee kicks it away. Ball taken back at the 20-yard line. A lot of room here for the Minuteman across the 35 and cut down at about the 42. So Washington Township, for the first part of this game, Mark, really enjoyed great field position, but were unable to cash in.
Yeah, there's no question. And now, you have a new quarterback in here. And
the ball at the 41-yard line. 1st and 10 Minutemen. The ball at their own 41.
So as we mentioned, your new quarterback is number 12, Trevor Sharkey, for the Minutemen.
Number 12, Trevor Sharkey, now the quarterback for Washington.
Sharkey, again, that quick little shovel pass, and just not much there. He'll be lucky to have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, and again, starting out conservatively, they find Yates.
On the stop, number 51, Dan Falzone.
Foul zone has been a factor here tonight. 2nd down, you see the clock continuing to move. Approaching the midway point of this 3rd quarter, your Atlantic City Electric game of the week. Beautiful night in Washington Township. Handoff. Big hole into the secondary, driving forward to about the 46-yard line is Mintel. He'll pick up about 6, and that'll bring up about a 3rd down and 5.
He got a great block by 69, Tyler Breen, who turned his man around.
Gain of 5 yards, and that carried by Montel.
Gave him the kind of room that he needed. It was a big 3rd and 5 here.
We'll see if Sharkey puts it up top. Sharkey hands off. It's Mintel. He'll get to about the 49, and he'll be a couple yards shy. So Township opts to play it a little bit conservatively here and allows Sharkey to get his feet set.
It's a textbook play by Dan Falzone, playing off a block and closing in on that. We've called Falzone's number numerous times here tonight. A tremendous game for Shawnee.
So the Minutemen will punt it away. Lewandowski, who scored the touchdown for the Renegades, back to receive the punt. Clock continues to move here. And a little bit of confusion. Personnel rushing out.
You know, you hate to use a timeout on special teams like this if you're Township, but they're going to have to.
So what about that, Mark? Is it better to use the timeout or just burn the 5 yards and save your timeouts for later?
Well, for where the ball is, Rob, I think that's an excellent point. I would probably take the 5 yards.
So we've had a great early start to our New Jersey high school football season, Mark. A lot different than in past years. This West Jersey Football League expanded, has brought about some interesting matchups along the way. Your thoughts?
I like it because I think it really helps the lesser programs. It puts a lot of Group 1 schools against Group 1 schools. And the best part about the West Jersey Football League, Rob, they realign every 2 years. So if there are some inadequate teams or some teams that don't belong in certain divisions, they'll move them around. You know, you saw that with like Cherry Hill East and Eastern. They were in the biggest division. They were in the American Conference. They moved down to the National. Now, being in the National's no picnic either with Timber Creek and Delsey and teams like that. But I really like it. I think one thing we've seen early going, though, St. Augustine is clearly the #1 team in South Jersey. They're playing Millville tonight, a Millville team that hadn't allowed a point.
They're going for it here on 4th down, and they're going to hand it off across midfield. Very close, and it looks like they do indeed have it. 1st down for Township. Again, you have to credit Marc Wechter and his coaching staff being aggressive here and really entrusting that offensive line.
That was just power football, Rob. You know, you're down by 2 possessions, and you're against a Shawnee team that's not giving up much, so.
And just kind of going back now, you see why they called the timeout. They had every intention of going for it on 4th down. 1st down and 10 for Sharkey, the new quarterback, starting the second half for an injured Paperno. Sharkey again hands it off, and it's Mintel. Mintel maybe 2 yards.
Well, we've called Alex Hildtag's number 65, and he again made a tremendous play. You know, the coaches are saying, what are those announcers saying about us in the timeout? We know what we're doing.
Well, I think both of us were surprised that they were going for it on 4th down, and again, you got to tip your hat to Marc Wechter. Good decision there, really entrusting his personnel, and it's worked out. 2nd down, we'll call it 8. Again, out of the shotgun. Sharkey, pitch, and just nothing doing. Tremendous penetration by that Shawnee defense.
Yeah, that was a great job there by number 88, Spencer Kent that time. Did not get blocked. I thought they were going to get a piece of him toward the end, but he really closed fast. That's a great job.
Well, this has been. Let's take a look first.
Watch 88. Ooh, that's tremendous one-on-one tackling.
This has been a briskly moving third quarter. We're already down to 3 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. And a critical third down. The Minutemen, a long way to go. 3rd and 12. Sharkey throws in the flat, has his man, and it's dropped. A good throw by Sharkey, and Roundtree just simply dropped it.
Well, in Roundtree's defense, and that's a ball he knows he can get, he was looking to make sure he was in bounds, and he looked up that time, Rob, and the ball they dropped the ball. So, but he was looking for that, you know, how close he was to that out of bounds area. But I'll tell you what, drops have hurt the Minutemen here tonight.
3:01 left, and again the Minutemen will be forced to punt it away to the dangerous Lewandowski. High snap over the head of the punter, and he's just going to fall on it.
First and 10.
Well, we mentioned special teams would likely play a role, and Township has fumbled one punt return, and now they have botched a punt. The first one did not hurt them. We'll see if the Township defense can hold strong once again. You mentioned before in their opening game, Marc, against Hamilton, they kind of hurt themselves with a variety of mistakes, and you're seeing that now.
Well, short fields, yeah.
Handoff pickup of about 3 or 4, and if you're Shawnee now, you're more than content to continue to run the football.
Well, and the other thing is, Shawnee has run the football, and they've done it up the middle, Rob, in this second half. I think they've really committed to it and gotten great results there.
The ball to Washington at the 20-yard line.
Second down, about 5. Wigley in the backfield. It's Wigley. Wigley. Nice little burst, and he'll be just shy of that first down, and averaging now 4 or 5 yards per carry, and really starting to exert their will.
Well, the thing about Wigley is he's making yards after initial contact. Look at that. He goes over for a couple extra after that.
The ball to 15.
3rd down and 1. Again, right up the middle. And it looks like they're going to be short.
I'll tell you what. James Honey, number 67, the junior for Washington Township, was right there on that.
1 yard to go. The ball at the 15.
Tremendous job of clogging things up there.
So it's this decision time for Shawnee. Do they opt to go for the field goal? Right now it is a 2-possession game. It looks like they're going to go for it here.
I would go for it here too, because even if you don't make it, your defense has them pinned back pretty far.
4th and 1. Shinsky hands it off. And it looks like this time they'll have enough.
Yeah, Paris did a good job that time. He got hit by Grosmick initially and just kept churning.
So we are inside of 1 minute left now in this third quarter. Shawnee taking advantage of a botched punt. Again, look at the running. Tremendous effort on the part of Ryan Paris.
Paris in that carry.
Nazir Johnson, number 40, laying some pretty good blocks there in the backfield as well.
Carry by Ryan Paris.
Here you see it, Marc.
1 yard to go.
And look at Paris. He just keeps his legs going. He runs like a linebacker with some speed, doesn't he?
He sure does. Most likely the last play of this third quarter. Shinsky keeps and looks to get that first down. They'll spot the football with 3.9 seconds left in this third quarter. After the spot, that'll be the last play. We'll see. It is a first down, And again, that will be the last play of this third quarter. So we head to break. Your Atlantic City Electric Game of the Week. Shawnee knocking on the door, looking to extend their 10-point lead.
Township 0.
Paris jumps. Paris drives.
Paris on the carry.
And a loose football. It's Washington Township football. Touchback. You couldn't ask for better if you're a Washington Township fan. Players shaking up on the field. It is Paris.
Yeah.
And he's not sure what happened. He feels like he breached the goal line.
He was close, and it was his second effort. You know, he jumped over there, took a big, big pop.
Washington Township recovered the ball.
And here it is, Rob. There he goes right there, bounces off, and keeps going. And somewhere there,
Ball to 20.
we can't see it from there, but somewhere there, the ball must have come loose. I think it was Meitel down there.
Well, Paris has been a factor throughout the night, and that would be a big loss. Of course, we know that the Minutemen are without their chief weapon in Mike Paperno, and Paris speaking to the training staff and seemingly frustrated.
Well, you know, the offense turned around here in the second half when he started playing running back. Didn't have any carries in the first half. And right now, you just hope he's okay. That's the number one priority.
And he'll leave the field slowly, walking gingerly. Now, earlier in the game, Wigley looked a little shaken up, but he bounced right back. We'll hope that Paris returns as well. And it looks like he is struggling.
Washington Township ran just 8 plays in that quarter. That shows how much Shawnee controlled things.
Well, we'll see whether or not Sharkey commits to the air a little bit more here. 11:48. That was the first play of the fourth quarter. Turnover, and the Minutemen now will try to take advantage.
First and 10 Minutemen. The ball's around 20.
Each of their plays on special teams have not hurt them. Their missteps. Handoff, maybe one or two.
Number 65, Alex
Hilgetag again, catching him from behind, number 65, Rob. That's a tremendous defensive play. Shawnee really getting an excellent game from him and all the defenders, really.
Pickup of about 2 yards, second down and 8. Sharkey again with a short pass. And brought down after maybe a gain of 1 or 2 yards. Very little there for McKillop.
Gain of 2 yards. Brings up second down. Makes that third down, 7 yards to go. 3rd and 7.
3rd down and 6 now for the Minutemen.
Remember that little delayed screen they had a little success with in the first half?
Critical play for Washington Township. 3 receivers split right. Sharkey rolls to his right. Has space, throws, tipped. Incomplete.
Pass intended for number 4. To hear Roundtree.
Pass intended for Roundtree, but again, credit the Shawnee defense.
Well, also credit Hilgetag for really putting a rush on him, getting in his face, and making him rush that throw. Well, we mentioned it, 65 has had a big game for the Renegades.
Minutemen forced to punt it away.
Carson Schultz in deep punt formation.
Carson Schultz, who's been very active tonight. Schultz with a good snap, gets it away. Fine punt. Fair catch called, taken at the 45-yard line.
Wigley on the fair catch.
Schultz has done a nice job for the Minutemen, and now defense.
Schultz did a good job getting that off because Dulce was right there with a big rush that time.
As you see, 10:08 left in this football game. It's been a defensive battle. Shawnee and Township were tied at 0 until just a few moments before halftime when a 45-yard Dulce field goal put them up by 3, and then Shawnee just ran the football on the opening drive to make it 10-0. Here's Wigley. Wigley into the secondary, cuts it across inside the 30 against the grain. Wigley has one man to beat. Wigley, will he make it? Touchdown! 55-yard touchdown run for Dan Wigley. Puts the exclamation point on things. We mentioned before, Marc, that he's something special, and again, he created a lot of that open space on that run.
I'm not sure he was touched by anyone on that whole play. Unbelievable run.
Showed some great instincts in the open field, continued to cut across the grain, and Wigley adds to this Shawnee lead. They'll look to extend it to a 17-point lead. The kick is up, and the extra point is good. 17-0 Shawnee.
55 left in the fourth quarter. Shawnee 17, Washington Township 0.
Well, now Township, of course, will be forced to depend on the arm of Trevor Sharkey to come back, and they're going to have to extend their throwing game a little bit.
I don't know what Tim Gushu told his team at halftime, but this offensive line for Shawnee has come out as a different looking unit that time.
Yeah, the opening drive said everything, Marc.
As I said, I don't think anyone even touched Wigley on that touchdown run.
Well, what a turn of events. They got the turnover. Paris fumbled right at the goal line, and seemingly Township with the momentum. But Shawnee's defense stepped up, and quickly Dan Wigley has changed the complexion of this football game.
And I'll tell you what, the way this Shawnee defense is playing, it's a very tough road for Washington Township right now.
Well, if you're Washington Township, you just try to win one first down at a time and just try to build upon that. Of course, they're hoping that Paperno will be back, if it's not this game, then next. But nonetheless, it's in the hands of Trevor Sharkey, and they'll look to expand this offense. Dulce will kick it away. It's very short, taken at the 33, and a fair catch called there. So the Minutemen will look to get on the scoreboard, 17-0 Renegades. In the first half, this Washington Township defense was nothing short of phenomenal. And now they're going to need just the same effort from their offense.
First and 10 Minutemen, the ball to 34.
9:55 left, fourth quarter.
Rob, I don't see Paris into the game. I see number 26 Tommy Robinson in one of the linebacker spots.
Rocket screen into the secondary. Nice pickup. Good spot, first down. So Sharkey had a little mustard on that one. And it's a first down as he finds Sturgis. The Minutemen band comes alive. And they would like nothing better than a quick strike here to make this a football game once again. It's going to take Township 3 scores if they hope to win this football game. First down and 10. Sharkey. Again, quick screen, falls incomplete.
Second down, 10 yards to go.
Sturgis at the bottom of your screen. Sharkey trips right. Rolls to his right. Now comes back. Sharkey across the middle. Nice catch made. Brought down just shy of the first down, spotted at the 46-yard line. So Sturgis has been Sharkey's favorite target thus far.
I'll tell you what, Sharkey got rid of that right away because Robinson, number 3, was right on him as he's ready to throw. Look how he gets rid of it right before there. And a nice job by Sturgis taking it in.
Third down and 1. Handoff, first down, Mintel to the 34.
I'll tell you what, if Colin Wetterow, number 4, doesn't get his leg at the end, Mintel might have been in for 6. Touchdown saving tackle for sure.
Sharkey hands off again to Mintel. And we're going to have a holding penalty here. This is coming back.
Wetterow on the stop. Penalty flag on the play.
2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Personal foul against Washington Township.
Mintel has had a busy evening. Holding against the Minutemen. That'll be first down. And it will be a spot foul. And it will come back all the way to the 44-yard line.
First down, 20 yards to go.
First down and 20. Mintel with room into the secondary, cuts it back inside. Mintel drives forward all the way down to the 26. Fine carry by Mintel, about 18 yards.
I'll tell you, he got a great initial block by Liam Watson and went right behind that for the hole. Watch 50. Tremendous job, and then Mintel did the rest.
Again, Mintel into the secondary. Mintel cuts it back inside, driving forward, and to the 11. An impressive drive here for Washington Township, and again, mostly on the back of Colin Mintel, the junior. And it looks like Shawnee's going to call timeout. They're going to try to stop what has become a juggernaut, give them the opportunity to catch their breath. And again, these are the type of things, Mark, that you see from seasoned coaches. A lot of people say, well, that's a strange place to take a timeout. But again, it stops the momentum of that team. You don't see that with younger coaches.
Well, I'll tell you, that's, again, we talked about why Tim Gashu's in the Hall of Fame. There you see the schedule for Shawnee. Everything close to the vest. Again, the defense more experienced, going to have to carry this team early on. They get a bye, and then they get a Kingsway team taken over by Marc Hendricks, the ex-Deptford player. And it's a rebuilding Kingsway team. Then they have
losing Anthony C's really hurt that football team.
Well, they lost a couple of people, and it's just a young and a rebuilding team. And plus, they had to go to the American Division this year, which is no bargain. But I mean, there'll be challenges against Camden Catholic, against Williamstown. Williamstown, I think, is going to be a Group 5 contender. I know they lost big last week to St. Augustine, but a lot of people are going to lose to St. Augustine big.
1st and 10 at the 11. Mintel, your lone running back. Again, Mintel cuts it outside, stays on his feet. What's been the difference here, Mark?
He's been able to get outside, just as you called it, Rob. There was not the room there before. See, he looked inside and gets it in there. And as you saw in that play, it's a great replay. Kenneth Yates, 10, didn't have a great block, but just got in the way enough to give his teammate a little extra room.
Well, they're looking to punch it in here. Things will get a lot more interesting if they can score. 7:12 left. 2nd down. Mintel right up the middle. Touchdown.
Touchdown, Township. 25, Colin Mintel. 6 yards for a touchdown, Township.
Colin Mintel, the workhorse. And Township back in this football game.
Kenny Cockrell, number 58, just cleaned out an area for Mintel initially.
Out there, they come to 40 after.
Township's kick is up. And good. 17-7 now, Shawnee.
Fourth quarter, Shawnee 17.
There it is. He's just been going right up the middle there. We said he's been able to get outside, but he's been able to run up the middle as well. Power running outside the tackles. He's been doing it all here.
It's been kind of an odd game in that sense, Mark. You know, Shawnee's defense has been stellar. All of a sudden, they give up big chunks on the ground, just as Washington Township did to start this second half.
Well, again, not to take anything away from what Township has done, but when Ryan Paris isn't in the game, it's a little different. And Washington Township will say, well, yeah, well, our quarterback's not in the game. It's a little different, too. And that's also true. But
and don't forget, Shawnee's also missing Jack Slazinski as well.
Yeah, no question about it.
Township answers Shawnee 17-7, a huge series right here.
James Altamiri kick off for Washington Township.
There you see Wigley and Lewandowski back to return the kick. And they try a squib onside kick, received by Shawnee, and it looked like it was Shawnee's Colin Wetterow to fall on.
Actually, I think it was 6, Rob. Joey Tremblay, who fell on that ball, I believe.
They kind of bunched up and tried to catch Shawnee off guard. I don't know if we have another look at that. Here it is.
Yeah, I believe it's 6, Tremblay there.
So Township will need to hold. Again, excellent field position here for Shawnee. 1st down and 10 at their own 43-yard line. It's going to be Wigley. Wigley, not a whole lot there. And now the flag comes in. Things are getting a little chippy down there. Unsportsmanlike against Township. And that's a big mistake, Mark.
Wow, you're coming back. You have a a tremendous defensive play on first down, and now you're going to give them 15 yards, Rob.
It's sportsmanlike penalty against Washington Township. That penalty moves the ball.
Well, the comeback was already daunting, and now they're adding to the degree of difficulty. First down and 10 inside of 7 minutes left. Again, it's going to be Wigley, and Wigley, not much there.
You know what's interesting, and it'll be interesting to see if Shawnee wants to do this, but I mean, Washington Township sending everybody playing the run this way. If they could roll out and have a little short screen or something, be interesting.
I wouldn't be surprised to see that right here. Second down and 10. Shinsky instead hands off. And the ball's loose. Picked up. Lewandowski. And cut down. That'll be a first down.
Lewandowski on the fumble recovery. That fumble recovery good for first down.
Well, Shawnee catches a break here.
Just rolled by. You saw that on the replay. Just rolled by 37 McDermott that time.
So clock continues to move. A critical first down once again for Shawnee. They'll be in no hurry. 5:45 remaining. First down and 10 at the Minutemen 30-yard line. Shinsky throws it up. Caught. Robinson.
Well, that's what we said, Rob. They're playing up for the run like that. Would they take a chance on that? This is a beautifully thrown ball. And Robinson with the jump ball. That's great concentration.
First and goal at the 4.
Robinson's finest catch of the evening. Shinsky has been impressive, Mark. I know you mentioned he's on his way to Penn State to play lacrosse, but I tell you, he's a heck of a football player.
Well, he's a competitor. He's such a tough kid.
Wigley in the backfield. Handoff. Wigley. Not much. Ball comes loose. Stripped away. Across the 40. Shinsky slows him, and the Minutemen 2 times in a row knocking on the door, and the Renegades cough up the football. Credit the Minutemen defense, who simply stole that football away from Wigley.
That's an unbelievable play that time by Liam Watson. There you see the scrum, and look how far he goes. And the thing is, look who's going to slow him down. If Shinsky doesn't slow him down here, he won't make the tackle, but at least he slows him down, and Lewandowski's able to bring him down.
5 minutes exactly remaining. First down, Minutemen. It's been quite a football game. It's been the Mintel show of late. Sharkey with Mintel in the backfield. Trips right. Sharkey drops across the middle. Defended well. Nice play by Wetterow.
Sharkey's pass intended for number 10.
So Wetterow, the junior, knocking down the intended pass of Sharkey. Second down and 10 at 4:56 left.
Not only a good job knocking the pass down, a great job not interfering with the receiver as well that time by Wetterow. Tight corners.
Trips right. Mintel in the backfield. Sharkey, deep drop, flushed out of the pocket, keeps, across the 45, angles towards the sideline, and he'll pick up about 6 or 7.
Well, he felt the rush. 65, our friend Hilgetag, who's been living in that backfield all day.
Third down, 5 yards to go. The ball.
Watch as he feels. There it is. There's 65, and he's not going to be able to catch him. And Sharkey with a good job getting out.
Third down now. Spot gave him 5. Mintel in the backfield. Handoff. Mintel right through the middle. Mintel brought down at about the 33. Clock continues to move. And again, things getting chippy in the secondary. Wigley shaken up.
I'll tell you what, if Dulcie didn't play off that block and make that tackle, Mintel had even more yardage to gain.
4 receivers set once again. Mintel with so much room. Mintel spins off one, continues to push forward, and Mintel finally stopped. Well, Washington Township has seen a weakness in this Shawnee defense, and they are exploiting it.
Watch 67, boom, right there with the block. James Holmey and Mintel spinning off and doing the rest. Look at him, just dragging the Shawnee defense.
And it looks like Shawnee once again will call timeout. 4:15 left. And again, this offense moving well under the guidance of Trevor Sharkey, but they've done it primarily via the ground. Let's take a look at the Township schedule. Of course, a lot of mistakes in that opener versus Hamilton, and big win coming back against Atlantic City. But I tell you, Coach Wechter said after the Shawnee game, it doesn't get much easier. Rancocas Valley very tough, and
yeah, Egg Harbor having a little bit of is in a rebuilding year. We know about Cherokee. Bridgeton has tremendous athletes. Kingsway rebuilding, and then Thanksgiving with Williamstown, always a battle. Remember last year they had to play Williamstown in the playoffs, and then had to play them the next week for Thanksgiving as well.
Williamstown just a stone's throw away here from Washington Township. It's good to see that many of those Thanksgiving rivalries have been extended despite the new alignment of the West Jersey Football League. 17-7, first down and 10. Sharkey, hands, Mintel, drives, Mintel, maybe 3.
Mintel inside the 10-yard line. Gain of 2 yards. Second down, 8 yards to go. The ball at the 10.
Second down, ball spotted at the 10-yard line. 3:50 and counting. Township needs 2 scores. Sharkey takes the handoff, throws, and cannot hook up with Sturgis. And frankly, that may have been in the best interest of Sturgis to have that be incomplete. Dan Wigley was right there.
Yeah, no question. And not only that, obviously, it stops the clock right now, too. Well overthrown. There you saw Wigley, 44. He's done a little running tonight, hasn't he, on both sides of the ball?
Very impressive. Third down and 8. And this is where things get tough. Sharkey, Mintel, touchdown! Wow. Colin Mintel has taken his game to a different level.
Tyler Breen, 69, had a great kick-out block on the outside, and then Mintel darted inside for the score. Tell you what, at 17-0, it looked really dire for Washington Township. This team's showing a lot of heart.
Penalty flag here. I don't know if one team has too many people out on the field, and it's going to go against Shawnee. Penalty is declined. Legal substitution.
By Washington Township.
They opt to decline the penalty. Kind of an interesting decision. Washington Township will look to pull within 3.
Yeah,
And
we
botch it.
have a flag though. I think it's offsides on Shawnee. I think they we'll see.
Offsides against Shawnee. So we'll see whether they opt to take this one.
Here's the thing now. If you take it, do you go for 2?
They decided not to take the first penalty, and this one they decline as well.
Okay.
Mark, why not take the penalty?
Well, I think they think this is more of the short points. Then you're within a field goal.
But you move up a yard and a half. Doesn't matter at this point. 17-14. But I'm thinking in case of a deflection, you're a little bit closer. Mark, this has been an interesting football game. Just the ebb and flow of the game. And here's Mintel. Look at the read inside, just kind of dodging through traffic. And you have to really credit Washington Township, the heart that they've displayed in this second half. No?
Absolutely. Oh yeah. I mean, this is a type of game that whether they win or lose, they're gonna get a lot out of this. Just to show that they kept fighting. They fighting without their quarterback, without their best player for the second half.
3:35 left, and Shawnee will hope to string together a few first downs and run out the clock. Of course, last time Township tried the onside kick. Do you try another onside kick here, Mark?
I think so.
And Shawnee's thinking the same thing. Of course, they have all different varieties. And if they do, we'll see whether or not they go right at that Shawnee receiving core lined up at the 50, or they just try to pooch it over that opening line. Kick is deep and in the end zone.
Well, what Marc Wechter's saying is, my defense is playing well. I'm going to trust them here.
You gotta like that.
Can't blame it. You know.
It's a vote of confidence for your defense. Again, most of these decisions tonight by Marc Wechter have illustrated the confidence that he has in his football team, and it has certainly paid off. 17-14, and Township now hoping for a 3-and-out.
And he's probably saying, boy, I'm glad I'm not listening to that guy up in the booth.
Handoff, not much there.
Yeah, it was a great play by Grosmick. For a guy playing his first game, he's had a big game, number 77 for Washington Township.
Again, coming back after a high ankle injury.
Second down, 9 yards to go. The ball to 21.
Typically a two-way guy, but he's only playing defense tonight. Second down and 9, and Shawnee continues to use clock.
Well, as he gets healthy, he'll be a two-way guy, believe me. Healthier.
Shinsky keeps.
Rob, that was a great decision by Shinsky, because if Wigley would have had it, he would have been clobbered, and Shinsky took it away and got some extra yardage there. That's an excellent read by him.
Third down and 5. Big play here. Mark, do you keep it on the ground here?
I wouldn't, but I think they will. How about that?
2:10 left. Shinsky keeps. Stopped.
Now, if you're Township, you call timeout here, right?
I would. And they did. 2 minutes left exactly. as if it were a 2-minute warning. Of course, there is no 2-minute warning in high school football. And remember, the Township special teams have had a few issues. They've fumbled one punt return, allowed another one to go back, and extended the punt to a 58-yarder. Next week, Williamstown is at Millville. Two solid programs.
And two programs that are coming off Millville playing St. August tonight. Obviously, Williamstown had to play them the week before. Saw St. Augustine in a scrimmage this year against Cherokee. And, you know, the Hermits lost a lot of good players at graduation, but you wouldn't know it.
Big play here as Shawnee in punt formation. High snap. Punt gets away. It's short. Rolls. And will be down at about the 46-yard line. A field goal ties this game.
At the 46-yard line, 1st and 10 minimum. The ball is Shawnee 46.
You know, I don't think Washington Township's thinking about a tie right here.
Marc Wechter said that Altieri is good from about 45 yards and in. Right now they're at the 46-yard line. They need to get about 20 yards downfield to give him that opportunity.
Well, they haven't shown they could stop Mintel, so I don't see why Township wouldn't give it to him, at least early on in this drive.
Mintel. About 5.
43-yard line.
Keep your eye on the clock. 2nd down. Sharkey again with a 4-receiver set. 2 receivers split both left and right. Mintel in the backfield. Inside screen, Sturgis on his feet, Sturgis down to the 29-yard line. Penalty flag. It may be a face mask. This is going to be a big call. Face mask against Shawnee. Well, remember, it was 17-0 Shawnee not too long ago, and Washington Township has done an exceptional job. 1st down and 10, ball at the 23-yard line. Sharkey with Mintel in the backfield. Mintel, the carry, Mintel, and he's cut down at about the 25.
Great job by Robinson, coming a long, long way to get that tackle.
54 seconds left, and Coach Wechter, a little animated, wanted the timeout earlier. Referees finally spotted him, but not before a few more seconds came off the clock. It's been a great football game. 54 seconds left. And right now the ball at the 24-yard line. So that's just inside of the range of Altieri, the field goal kicker. That, of course, would put us into overtime. Still plenty of football left.
Keep in mind, Rob, that's the last time out for Township, so that's going to obviously dictate the play calling here too.
This is a case where on 2nd down you probably call 2 plays in the huddle. Mintel in the backfield. Again, a 4-receiver set for Sharkey. Roundtree split all the way wide right. Sturgis wide left. Sharkey, inside screen at Sturgis, and not much there. Again, stopped at about the 25-yard line.
That's a tremendous job. There you see him, 23 that time. Schillinger did not let Sturgis get away.
Clock continues to move. We're down inside of 30 seconds left. Sharkey with Meintel. Handoff, Meintel right up the middle to about the 22-yard line. And Mark Wechter thought he had a timeout left. It's down on 4th down.
Rob,
that was 4th down, Mark.
They just spiked it on 4th down.
That's what I said. That the Washington Township thought that they had a timeout left. They realized that they did not. And unbeknownst to them, it was 4th down. They spiked the football and gave up the opportunity to get a 1st down. 1st down, Shawnee.
Here's the thing. I don't know if they would have gotten a playoff anyway.
Well, if you look, you saw to the sideline. They were trying to eat up some clock, and then he tried to call timeout. The referees informed him that he was out of timeouts. And then it became a little chaotic. Sharkey tried to down the football, not realizing it was 4th down. And that's it. A tremendous comeback by Washington Township falls short.
Shawnee 17, Washington Township 14.
Stick around for post-game interviews and a wrap-up. Shawnee escapes with a 17-14 victory over Washington Township. Welcome back to Washington Township, a real barn burner. Shawnee victorious 17-14. It looked like Shawnee had the game in hand. Washington Township comes rushing back, but Shawnee able to hold them off in the end. And I'm here with head coach Tim Gushu. And coach, again, a game that had a kind of a strange complexion to it. Not a 1st down until that last drive of the first half. Washington Township's defense really held up. Kind of an interesting series of events because you allowed time to tick off the clock, and then you went after it. What was the thinking there?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, in the first half, we were thinking of just going in at halftime and regroup because, yes, the first half, we weren't doing a whole lot. Their defense was doing a great job. And then, we saw the field position. We saw a couple matchups we liked, and we thought, let's take a shot, hit a big screen to Dan Wigley, and then, we were able to get the ball down the field for a field goal attempt.
That obviously gave you a lot of momentum going into halftime. But I tell you, you must be the master of the halftime speech because it looked like a totally different team coming out to start the second half.
Well, we got behind the chains a lot in the first half. I mean, I think some of it was due to Washington Township's good effort. I also think we had a lot of self-inflicted wounds. We're 1st and 15 a lot. And like I told the guys, look, we're not built to be a 1st and 15 football team. We thought if we could just kind of, 4 or 5 yard them, we felt we could run the ball. And we made it. Ryan Blazek, our offensive line coach, made a few adjustments, which really helped.
Your team showed tremendous resiliency because on 2 separate occasions you're knocking on the door at the end zone and you give up the football, and yet you're able to hold on for the win. Talk a little bit about just the heart and soul of your team.
Well, I think, one of the things I talked to them about at halftime and I talk to them about all the time is how much they care about each other, about never giving up and fighting to the very last second whenever it is. We've had 3 games now in a row that have gone right to the wire, just like this game. So, I think that just doesn't happen by chance. I think it has a lot to do with the character and the culture that our seniors have developed with our football program.
Well, one of the first people that showed a lot of character out on the field was Dan Wigley. I mean, a guy who plays on both sides of the football. You mentioned prior to the game just how important he is to the team. I mean, he obviously played a big role in this game. A big run offensively, but solid effort defensively as well.
There's no question. I mean, Dan Wigley is, the heart and soul of our team. That's why he wears number 44, and we're very fortunate to have him on our program, and he's such an instrumental leader with our team. So he's as good as they get.
You're off to a great start, 3-0. Kind of look forward here. What do you need to do to continue the momentum as you continue with your season on your march to the playoffs?
Well, I think, as I said right there in the huddle at the end, there's a bunch of things we can clean up. Needless to say, eliminate some of the penalties that we're inflicting on ourselves, and we got to shore up some things. And we had two sophomore linebackers in there most of the second half, and we got to get some guys healthy. And I think when we get Jack Slazinski back, that's going to help a lot. We have another guy, Jeremy Fisher, who's a junior wide receiver corner. We get him back. And the bye comes at a good time. It really does. When I saw the schedule beginning of the year, I was like, bye week 4. But right now, I think we're all pretty glad. I know Dan's real happy that we're having it right now.
Well, again, congratulations, Coach. We're going to throw it over here and talk to Dan Wigley. Again, congratulations and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you very much.
Dan, a tremendous game, just a phenomenal effort on the part of yourself and your team. Let's first go back to the end of that first half. You guys really were shut down throughout the first half. How much of a boost was it to see Dalsey come away with that field goal?
Oh, it was a big boost. It came at a perfect time. Nothing was clicking on offense, and a boot, 45 yards, and we really came together and got it close enough where he could hit it in.
You go into the half, and you obviously have to question yourself offensively. What happened at halftime that really changed things? Because you came out like a totally different team to start that second half.
Yeah, we definitely just regrouped as a complete team, offense, defense, and really just started. We care about each other like no other team, and it really just came down to that.
So as Washington Township started to mount their comeback, it looked like they were getting big chunks from their running back. What was the mindset? Was it just to try to kind of bend but not break, or were they just coming away with big plays that you hadn't anticipated?
Definitely bend. Their coaches always preach bend but don't break, but definitely not as anticipated as the run that they had at the end of the game. We had two sophomore linebackers that, they gave it their all. So, they did a good job stepping in, but we'll have other kids back come after the bye week.
This is a game you kind of feel like you escaped a little confusion at the end of the game. What does this do for your football team as you go forward in terms of confidence?
Definitely big win over Township. It's always a rivalry between Township, and it's a good test for us. We've had 3 close games in a row, so we're ready for anything.
You guys last year played in the Group 4 final against Timber Creek, an outstanding football program. How does this team stack up against last year's version?
I don't see a difference. We have a mentality where it's the next man in. Doesn't matter who we lose. Next man's going to perform the same way, and I feel good.
Well, you should feel good. A tremendous performance both offensively and defensively. We certainly wish you the best of luck as the season progresses. Thanks for joining us, Dan.
Thank you.
So again, the final score here from Washington Township, it was Shawnee defeating the Minutemen 17-14. Minutemen trying to mount a comeback. It falls short in the end. Again, a game that was well played by both defenses, back and forth, and it should certainly serve as a means of confidence boost for this Shawnee football team. But let's talk a little bit about Washington Township, because that also should serve as a confidence boost for the Minutemen. They came back from a 17-0 deficit and almost came back to tie it or even go ahead. And I think the Minutemen have to take away a lot of positives as they head into their game next week against Rancocas Valley. So once again, your final score from Washington Township, it was the Renegades of Shawnee defeating the Washington Township Minutemen 17-14 on your Atlantic City Electric Game of the Week. Next week, Williamstown and Millville, another great one. Thanks for joining us. For my partner, Marc Narducci, my director, Stan Ritter, and all the crew, I'm Rob Christ. Good night, everybody.